Okay. Oh, hey guys, how's it going? Sam here. Hello, kiddos. With your MCO special. Okay, so today, as you can guess, it's gonna be about this stuff. But first, happy Friday! You know what they say about Friday? Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Yeah, like the stock market. So that's what we're gonna be talking about today. All right. So, who knows what the stock market is about? All right. For those of you that haven't really dabbled in this magical wonderland called the stock market, here's how it works. All right. So, firstly, oh no, it's not this. Let's go back. So, okay. So, say you start with this happy little Pikachu. Oh, I mean, did I say Pikachu? I meant this mousy-looking cartoony thing. Definitely not a Pikachu. Yeah, no, definitely not. That would be copyright infringement. Okay, so say we have this little Pikachu and he's got some money he wants to spend. Not toilet paper, money. Okay, ching. Okay, so he wants to own part of this company. So this is the company. Okay, so this is you, the investor. Okay. Tor. Okay, up here we have the company. Okay, so if you wanted to say buy part of a company or all of a company, you usually wouldn't just walk straight up to the company and go, "Hello, I'd like to buy some of your company," because they would probably tell you to bugger off. Okay, well, I guess if you're offering enough money, I guess they will consider it. But normally, so if you were to attempt to invest in the stock market, you're probably not going to buy all of the company, right? You just want to buy some of it. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to go to this fat-looking cat here. Fat cat, yeah, yes. Okay, these guys are the brokers. Okay, so what you gotta do is you take your money and you go and you give it to this guy. And you go, yes, I like money. Yes, I do like this money. Okay, you give them the money, and then they pocket some of it. They go, I put some in the pocket. Okay, that's how they make money, and then they'll take the rest and they'll go to the company and then they'll buy it from the company. Okay, well, they probably won't go directly to the company either, but they'll buy it on the stock market. Okay, which is these guys, the market. Okay, market of crazy groupy looking cartoony rabbits. Okay, rabbits. Okay, with lots of money. Okay, so yeah. So basically, what happens then is if the company does well and makes the moolah. So this kind of good, right? Then you will make money. Okay, because your shares. Okay, let's say shares are smiley faces. Okay, so you now own some smiley faces. Okay, you own part of a company. Congratulations. Okay, so if the company makes money, you make money, right? If the company loses money, then well, I guess you'll be very sad. Okay, if the company lose money, you lose money. Okay, company lose money, you lose money. Okay, got it? So now that we have a basic understanding of how the stock market works, the next thing we're going to talk about is this fun thing called short selling. Oh, he's happy now. Okay, so let's talk about short selling. Oh, can't really read that. Okay, so what is this special phenomenon called short selling that people don't want you to know about? Okay, so short selling is, well, okay, still happy. So you, the short seller. Okay, well he's not very tall, so yeah, this short little Pikachu wants to become a short seller. Okay, so what is short selling? So like, I guess when you want to buy a house, this is going to take a long, windy road. But say you want to buy this cute little house on a hill with a window and a door. Oh, come on. Okay, so say you want to buy this house, right? And you have money. Usually, you're not gonna take all your money and go buy the house, right? I mean, some people do, like I don't know, Michael Jackson. But more normally, what you do is you go and get a loan from, say, this guy called the bank. Okay, you go to the bank and go, "Hello, I like to buy a house. I don't have that much money. Can you buy it for me? Okay, so the bank will go, all right, I will buy. I will give them the money, and then you can go and live in it, and pay back the bank slowly, small amounts, small cash. Okay, in monthly installments for the rest of your life. Okay, so that's called a loan. Okay, loan. Right. So now that you know you understand the concept of loans, right? You owe people. I owe you. Okay. No, I don't you. I don't know you. I don't owe you nothing. Okay. So now that you understand the concept of loans, you're still happy. Okay. So what is short selling? Okay. So short selling is when you get a loan for shares. Okay. So let's say you want to do some short selling. Okay. So you go, as usual, you go to this Mr. Broker. You go, hey, I got some money. Loan me some shares. Loan me. I don't want to buy them. I want you to let me trade in shares that I do not possess. Okay. So remember these shares, smiley faces. Okay. So the broker will go, all right. You know, here you can borrow some of my shares. Borrow some of these ABC shares. Okay. Okay. So you will take the shares and you will go to the market and you will trade in these shares. You take them and you go to the market. Okay, go to the market and sell them. Say you sell these shares for like, I don't know, 500 ringgit. All right, that's pretty good. 500 ringgit, yay! Okay, so people eat it up, right? They buy these these fictitious shares. Well, they're not fictitious. They're on loan. Okay, so they buy these 500 ringgit worth of shares. Okay, and then what happens is the share prices drop. Okay, so sad face. Share price drop. Okay, see, so by right, if you own those shares, you would be sad because your price would have dropped. Okay, okay, so here's what happens. So you are not affected by this sad face. Okay, so your 500 shares that you sold previously are now only worth say 400. Okay, so what you do is you buy them back. Okay, you buy them back at a cheaper price. Okay, these supposed shares. So now you own some less valuable shares. Okay, and then what you do is you give the shares back. Okay, you give these shares. You go, hey, here, have your shares. Have these ABC shares that I don't want. Okay, and then you know what do you do? Remember, you sold that 500 bucks. So you still have, technically, you have 500 bucks. And you bought 400 bucks worth, right? So you are now actually up 100 bucks. Okay? Because you sold them back to this dude for whatever the price was, which was 400, right? You return the same number of shares. Okay? So you had two smiley faces, you sold them for 500. You bought them back. You bought two smiley faces back for $400. Okay, and then you gave the two smiley faces back to this fat dude, this fat cat. So he's like, okay, whatever, you had those shares, you keep them because the value is borrowed, right? When you borrowed them, okay, so you just borrowed shares. You didn't have to pay for them. You get what I mean? Yeah, you see where I'm going with this? So you made money, even though the share price went down. Okay, see, clever, isn't it? So even when the share price goes down, you can make money, right? So that is the beauty of short selling. Okay, you get it? You get it now? So you borrow some shares, you sell them for some money, you wait till the price goes down, you give them back. Okay, and you keep the difference, the profit. Okay, so this is all very well. Okay, so why am I talking about all this? Yes, because in case you've been paying attention to the news recently, there is this fun little phenomenon happening with Gamestop. Okay, you can go look them up. Okay, so Gamestop, they're a game shop. Okay, and they had shares that were worth, say, so this is their share price. So if you look maybe over the past couple of years, so what's been happening is that price is like $1. $2. Let's say $2. Okay, so if you look recently, just over the past month, the price has gone boom through the roof. Okay, so their price At one point, was worth I think almost $400. Okay, so it's $2, 2, 3, 50, 400, some ridiculous amount. Okay, so how did that happen? Okay, why did that happen? So yes, I mean these kind of things are not uncommon. For prices to go through the roof, but there is a fun story behind it. So basically, what happened with GameStop is that a whole bunch of sneaky investors, okay, investors, short sellers, these guys. So not you now. These short sellers tried to kill GameStop pretty much. Okay, because what they were trying to do is they were short selling. Okay, they were short selling. They were getting the shares of GameStop, GME. Okay, and then they were short selling it. They were selling it. They were throwing it to the market, because they expected GameStop to die. Okay, because GameStop's not doing so well. Okay, so what they're doing is they were trying to cause bankrupt. They were causing GameStop to go bankrupt. Okay, so how they do that? If they keep selling shares, right? If you supply the market with shares, the price will drop. Okay, so they were throwing in like millions of dollars. Okay, so the share prices were going terribly not great. Okay, so they were expecting GameStop to fold, right? Because then they would be able to short sell it back. You get what I mean? Yeah. So they would short sell it because initially when they sold those shares, they were probably worth something. They were probably worth like say $2. And then if they go bankrupt, they sell them back and they short sell them for so the value drop to like nothing. So if they've got like if you say you've got $1 million worth and you make $1 per share, that's like $1 million, right? Right? You know what I mean? Because the prices. So with short selling, you want the share price to drop. Okay? Because remember you're doing that thing where you're buying it back for cheaper, you're buying it back for zero. Okay? And then you're just giving the zero value shares back to this fat dude. But this fat dude doesn't care because he makes money from transactions. He's like, yeah, whatever, I don't care. I made my money. Take a cut. Okay. So these two guys are winning. Okay. Or by right, they would have won. Okay. So what happened is people caught wind of it. Okay. People caught wind, and what they've decided to do, very fun. I think it started with this firm called Robinhood. Yeah. So what they decided to do is they realized that these evil short sellers were trying to bankrupt GameStop and make lots of money off it. So what they did is while it was still shorted, they went and it's because they were selling shares that they didn't own, and they were doing it so much that they oversold. Okay, so they borrowed more than the company had. So a company has of course 100% shares, right? So these guys, these short sellers, they sold 140% of shares to the market. Okay, so that's called a naked short, right? Because they're selling shares that that nobody owns, right? So they're just sitting and waiting for the price to crash, and then they'll buy it all back, and then they throw the shares away. They'll be like, these shares are worthless, and they'll make lots of money. Ka-ching, ka-ching. Okay. And of course they'll be happy, yay, ecstatic even. Okay, so what these guys decided to do? These fun-loving people, they decided to invest in GameStop. Yeah. These people decided to start banding together and be like, when I say these people, I don't mean these guys, not these guys, these other guys. Let's see these guys here. They'll be like, don't like you corporate greedy monkeys. So they started and they started buying up shares, and like actually buying up shares, not short selling. Okay, so they bought up lots and lots of shares. Okay, millions of them, lots and lots of them. Okay, and then this famous e-commerce CEO came along and he picked up a whole bunch of shares. Okay, lots and lots of these shares. Lots and lots of shares. Okay, so people were actually buying real shares. Okay, so what happens is once you start buying, the value goes up. Okay, which is not what these short sellers want. These short sellers do not want the price to go up. They do not want the price to go up. They're like, no, stop. Okay, because they were causing a spike. Okay, so now these guys are like not so happy, right? Because these guys in the corner, they're just like, yeah, Let's buy it. Let's buy them up. Yeah. Okay. I make them look evil. But actually, I think what they were trying to do is they were trying to show Wall Street, you know, who's boss. Okay. Because what happens when the share price goes up, right? Then you can't short sell, right? Because if you short sell, if you sold it for for $2 and now you got to buy it back at $200, you're kind of you have to fork out your money, right? You've lost money. Okay, so it's not in your interest to short sell, right? But so these guys have them by the balls. Sorry, did I say balls? I mean by the gonads. Yes. So because at some point, right, these guys are these guys are trading in shares that they don't have, right? So at some point, this broker here is gonna go, oh boy, people want to buy these shares. I guess gotta sell the shares to them. So they gotta sell these shares, right? So these brokers, because these brokers just want to make money, right? They just want to trade. These hedge fund managers. Did I mention hedge funds yet? Not yet. Okay, let's not talk about the hedge fund managers. So basically, these guys, the fat cats, right? The guys in the trade, right? They wanna sell off, and they don't want to get rid of these shares as well before the price goes too crazy, right? They want to sell to these guys, okay? The guys that actually want to buy shares, not short sell them, actual shares, actual money, okay? So then these short sellers are like, oh my god, I'm screwed, right? Because they're doing it's not happening the way they want it to, right? And so they're potentially going to lose a lot of money, right? Because if you bought 1 million shares for $2 each, right? And now you gotta buy them back at 200. You see it's a big difference, So they are not happy. They are not happy at all. Okay, so but it doesn't matter because it's a win for the common folk, right? That's what the news is all about. This Gamestop thing, right? Because these kind of evil looking guys, but actually the common people are basically trying to teach a lesson to these guys because these short sellers, or at least the big corporate short sellers, are like multi-million dollars. They're actually not too bad off. Okay, they're the Wall Street crowd. People that do these kind of things that engineer the market crashes so that they can profit. All right. So anyway, I think I've waffled on long enough, and yeah, it's not. It's about it's about fictional stuff. So it's not about animals for a change. It's about these numbers on a computer somewhere somewhere else in the world. But it's an interesting story. Okay, it's a cool story. It's about how the commoners, the folk down on the ground are trying to win one back against the fat cats. But I think unfortunately it's very hard to win against this guy and this guy because they've got a lot of money. They're sitting in piles and piles of money. Ding. Right? And with money comes certain influence, and so they can get out of it. There are lots of ways hedge fund managers can get out of these kind of situations. They can pump up other shares to get the market going after them. They can hire PR companies to do all sorts of things to get the shares to go back down. Yeah, they can buy up shares, and then after trading hours are over, they sell them, to drive down the stock price. They can do all sorts of silly things, right? Because they are so smart. Yes, so smart, and they've got a lot of money, so they can hire. Even if they're not smart, they can hire smart people to do things for them. Okay, so yeah, it's yeah. So I think it's they had a bit of a scare, when the price went, but I think it's coming back down now. It'll taper off. But hey, the online community, they came close, All right, so I hope you enjoyed this little story. If nothing else, you learned a little bit about how the stock market works. How people are making lots of funny money by doing things that you don't quite understand. So the less you understand, the better for them. Okay. So yeah, learn, pick out a little bit. But in essence, the stock market, it's ups and downs and crazy things, whirligigs. Okay, so yeah, that's more or less it for me. I hope you have a fun weekend and maybe pick up some shares while you're at it. So have a good weekend and Sam out. These pages always get very messy, don't they? Okay, doodles.